Even if you could live 3,000 or more years, remember, the longest life is the same as the shortest. The present is the same for everyone. Its loss is the same for everyone. You cannot lose the past or the future, for how can you lose what you do not have? Everything has always been the same and keeps recurring, and it makes no difference whether you see the same things recur in 100 years or in an infinite period. The longest lived and those who will die soonest lose the same thing. The present is all that they can give up. The present is all you have, and what you do not have, you cannot lose. Don't waste the rest of your time here worrying about other people, unless it affects the common good. It will keep you from doing anything useful. You'll be too preoccupied with what so-and-so is doing, and why, and what they're saying, and what they're thinking, and what they're up to, and all the other things that throw you off and keep you from focusing on your own mind. You need to avoid certain things in your train of thought. Everything random, everything irrelevant. What are you thinking about? You can respond at once and truthfully that you are thinking this or thinking that. And it would be obvious at once from your answer that your thoughts were straightforward and considerate ones. The thoughts of an unselfish person, one unconcerned with pleasure, with squabbling, with slander and envy, or anything else you'd be ashamed to be caught thinking. If you do the job in a principled way, with diligence, energy, and patience, if you keep yourself free of distractions and keep the spirit inside you undamaged, as if you might have to give it back at any moment, if you can embrace this without fear or expectation, can find fulfillment in what you're doing now as nature intended, and in superhuman truthfulness, every word, every utterance, then your life will be happy. No one can prevent that. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Many lumps of incense on the same altar. One crumbles now, one later, but it makes no difference. If, at some point in your life, you come across anything better than justice, honesty, self-control, courage, then a mind satisfied that it has succeeded to accept what's beyond its control, if you find anything better than that, embrace it without reservations and enjoy it to the full. But if nothing presents itself as superior to the spirit within, don't make room for anything that might lead you astray, tempt you off the road, and leave you unable to devote yourself completely to achieving the goodness that is uniquely yours. It would be wrong for anything to stand between you and attaining goodness as a rational being and a citizen. So make your choice straightforwardly, once and for all, and stick to it. As Epictetus said, you are but a little wisp of soul carrying a corpse. Suppose you are told you are going to die tomorrow or the day after. Only a complete coward would fuss about which it was. What difference could it make? Now recognize the difference between years from now and tomorrow is just as small. To pass through this brief life as nature demands, to give it up without complaint, like an olive that ripens and falls, praising its mother, thanking the tree it grew on. Is it unfortunate this has happened? No, it is fortunate this has happened, and I've remained unharmed by it, not shattered by the present or frightened of the future. It could have happened to anyone, but not everyone could have remained unharmed by it. Does what's happened keep you from acting with justice, generosity, self-control, sanity, prudence, honesty, humility, straightforwardness, and all the other qualities that allow a person's nature to fulfill itself. Remember this principle when something threatens to cause you pain. The thing itself was no misfortune at all. To endure it and prevail is great good fortune. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm. But it's nicer here. So you were born to feel nice, instead of doing things and experiencing them? Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being? Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? Other people may impede our actions, but there can be no impeding our intentions. We shall accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacles to our achieving our goal. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The best revenge is not to be like that. If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. What harms us is to persist in self-deceit and ignorance.